you want to go ahead and start with the history and give me a little bit of a background as to, what you've done and where it led you to come up with this idea, and then just go from there.
Yep, here it comes. All right. I'm an engineer by training, mechanical engineer, design engineer. I've done that for many, many years. And then I ended up running a CNC machine shop for years. And I put in an outdoor wood boiler. This was about 15 years ago. I put it in and I read about PEX tubing, and it was the thing to use. I said, okay, we'll use PEX. Okay. So I ran some PEX, and then I had to crimp the connection. Okay. So I just go to Home Depot and get a crimper, and crimp it. I went there. It was $129. I had to do 2 crimps. I'm a cheapskate. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I looked around. I found there was a place that would rent it for $5. Great. It was an hour's drive. I lived in the country in Maine. So I drive in, $5, rent the thing, come back, crimp it, work great. Drive in, return it, drive home. 4 hours of driving. Okay, $5. Okay. Week later, it was really nice. This PEX stuff is great stuff. It's easy, especially used to copper sweating, and then you have a little water in the pipe or whatever, it just, you don't get a good joint. You got to be clean, that, all that stuff. So a week later, I wanted to do another one. So I said, oh boy, okay. So I drive in, rent it, $5, use it real quick, go back and done. Okay. And I think it was probably a week after that, I want to do again. I'm saying, I'm not driving 4 hours. I got a machine shop, I know how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So it took all about 20 minutes to come up with a little design. I tried to do something. I thought I could do it with a pair of vice grips,
Yeah.
And I thought I'd try it. So I made one. It worked great. I said, geez, I'll bet you other people like to use this thing. So I refined it a little bit, and I made a bunch of my CNC machines, and I put it on eBay, and it immediately just started selling. Bing, 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 bing. I was making, I think, $700 a week on that, just immediately, and somewhere in there, maybe within a year's time, a friend of mine said he saw something that Home Depot was advertising for new products. Why don't you try it? So I sent one down, and they said, yeah, come on, show it to us. So I went down to Atlanta, and I had this big fancy dog and pony show ready to, to impress everybody.
Yes.
And I walk in, the guy says, yeah, we need it. We're going to buy it. And, okay, so immediately I had to find a distributor and get into the big boy game, instead of selling on eBay. I had to have make them in numbers, thousands and thousands. The CNC that's good for hundreds, but I looked into a lot of different ways of making it, and powdered metal seemed to be the right way to go.
Okay.
I mean, I looked at a lot of different ways of doing it, and I had to spend, I think it was about $40,000 for a mold.
Okay.
Which was, like you're sticking your neck long way out there,
Yeah,
I did it, it worked out well. So got a mold and got all this fancy, I came up with, I don't know, I don't think you've ever seen this. This is the box I make.
No, I've never seen it in its original packaging.
It's a 6-pack. You put 6 in here, only have 2 in here.
Okay.
But all this cardboard stuff, I designed the this thing here.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Very nice unit. I don't know how.
Oh no, it's gorgeous.
Flashes there, okay.
Yeah, I actually have one sitting over by my desk that I played around with, and being able to actually do a video showing it, being used as well, because we're always trying to be able to push out, content that's always new and engaging. And right now, we're really wanting to focus back in onto, the Pocket PEX, because it is this innovative tool that we know, and even the feedback that we've gotten from plumbers that are getting more into that PEX market now. The ease of being able to have it where space confinements, hey, that's not an issue here. You don't have to worry about, grabbing all these big tools and trying to be able to torque on it, you have that opportunity here. Yes,
you compare it to that thing.
exactly.
It's it just big difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard on that Zoom thing here. That's the competition right there.
Yes.
Actually, I can't say that's the big. More competition is they have a little crimping, which is a ratchet. It's a pretty nice rig, but it depends on a little tiny nibbin of a stainless steel thing. And everywhere you go, it's more expensive. The rings are more expensive each time you use them. The crimper is still more expensive. So anyway, I got all the distributor and so on, get it set up, and bingo, they did 100 stores. It took off like a rocket. And I was selling, I can't remember, 6,000 a week. It was like a lot of them, and it was going great guns. And then my distributor said, gee, this is great. They went to China, copied the damn thing, took it. They even copied my tooling holes that fit on my CNC machines. They don't know what they're doing. The thing wouldn't pass the ASTM specs. It was a piece of junk, really awful. And I had to sue them. Okay, I had a patent. I had all the patent stuff and so on. So it was a big patent deal. And I talked to my patent attorney. He said, yeah, you can sue them. It'll take you 5 years. You'll very likely win. It'll cost $2 million, but you can only recover lost profits, which wouldn't cover $2 million. So, but what I ended up doing was suing Home Depot and this guy. I don't want to sue anybody, but anyway, they're stealing the damn thing from me outright. I mean, it was blatant as hell. What I ended up doing is they quit importing these awful things from China. And they'd sell mine. That worked well for, I don't know, 10 years or something. So that's what I did pretty much on that. And in the meantime, I had a couple other companies make similar ones. They make one that was weighed about 3 times mine. It was big, bulky kind of thing. It was a nice design, but it's too big and so on. Missed the boat. I had to sue them. I have 4 different patents, different one, design patent, this patent, that patent. So I pretty much got rid of that stuff, and it was going pretty well. It went well many years. I went to a show in Las Vegas where I met somebody who put me in touch with Steve White at Superior. Okay. So he took it in Superior, and we developed a long-standing relationship and sold them to Superior. So, and that worked very well. So that's sold for many years. And then they lost their contract with Lowe's. Somebody came in. I can't remember what it was, Shark Bite or some
Bite. Yes,
big,
it was.
Okay, and then at about the same time, the same deal happened with Home Depot. They had a big. Is it Shark Bite, or there's another one that's. I got Shark Bite right here. Anyway, came in. They took over the whole everything and threw me out. Okay. They don't have anything that comes close to this tool.
Absolutely.
They don't. I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it the last.
I did see the photo. Yes.
Okay, there's that photo. Okay. Let me just show you. Like the closest thing to what I have. Well, okay. There's on these rings. There's the standard ring, the copper ring that you squeeze, which is the one I do, original one. Then you have the stainless steel little guy. The crimper for the stainless steel one right here is $62. Okay. And each ring costs twice as much. I can't remember what they are, but they're about twice as much. Okay. The crimper is this, this crimper here, I think is $80, $79. Okay. So mine is going for $25. Okay. And it does 3 sizes, not 2. All right. And it's convenient and so on. so that's where it is, and I've been selling them well through Superior, and then now through so you guys,
Yep,
Phil Hansen company.
that's correct. Yep. CH
Okay.
Hansen recently obtained back in 2020 Superior Tools, and then we have taken their line in and reinventing the don't want to say reinventing the wheel, but what we're doing is revamping the Superior tool the way that they used to run products and to be able to make sure that we're properly spotlighting such yourself and the way that you guys are bringing these tools and what you've changed in the game of how tools were once being viewed and how they're being used. So that's what this whole new line is, 3 years later after buying the tool line and being able to revamp the packaging and everything that we've been pushing here. This is why we're wanting to go deeper into these stories to be able to say, hey, this is why Superior Tool is a growing line. And what we're doing differently and what we're doing right is looking at our end users. How can we make their lives better with the tools that we are able to be a part of? And then listen to your story of wondering, how did this tool come into place? And how can I take your story and be able to put it out there to the next, working man that maybe doesn't know? Maybe shark bite is the only thing that he's seeing. There's options out there, and why
Well,
your tool can
I'll tell
compete.
you, I've spent a lot of my time going to Home Depots and Lowe's all over the country, and I sit there
Yep.
in the aisle and I watch guys, and they
Mhm.
go up, and the typical homeowner kind of goes, "Whoa, look at all these fittings,"
Yes. Yes.
and they try, and then they look at the price, and what one of the big ones now is the slip-in jobs, the shark bite, yeah, the ones
Yep.
that go in, they have an O-ring and a
Yep.
couple little clips that catch it. They're bulky and they're expensive as hell.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Um, and but uh, the regular homeowner, all he's got to do is put in a washing machine or a sink. He's got to do 3 or 4 joints.
Yep.
Okay, so for him, it's maybe easier just to use these the shark bite ones that are expensive. But
Mhm.
if my tool, and I've done the prices, the thing on that, you take this tool for $25 and a handful of regular rings and so on, and you're still ahead of the game. Now you own the tool, and anything else you
Excellent.
do is cheap.
Actually,
Okay,
yep.
uh, it's it's I for the life of me, uh, I think it's still a very viable product.
Yes.
Okay, the homeowner anyway, they come in, they look at that, and they see this thing, oh, they're huge,
Yeah.
they're huge. Actually, I think this is a small one now. They've got a bigger one.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
We like to joke
Um,
around and call it the Napoleon complex. Go in and see a bigger,
maybe,
the bigger tool, and
maybe,
then they feel like you have to have that bigger tool to do the job right.
you know. Yeah, well, I tell you, it's really nice to have a little one. This little
Absolutely.
guy.
Yeah.
And but I got to admit, you have to have a pretty good grip, and you got to crunch this pretty good. You little
Mhm.
tiny little click, click, click. You do it. Actually, I think I said 4 or 5 times. It does a good job, and it does make it to specs. I mean, I as an engineer, I'm not going to make something that
Absolutely.
doesn't work. If you're a homeowner, maybe you do a whole house. You have a
Yeah.
real strong hand after that.
Oh, yeah.
But doing a few of them, it's perfect, an occasional, and you leave it in your toolbox. Try leaving this in your toolbox. Actually, these are good for hitting people with, for protection.
Exactly.
Okay. See, that's all I have to show you right now.
Okay. There was one other question I was going to ask, and you did
Yeah,
touch
go
quite a
ahead.
bit on there was, you know, you're now noticing a lot of these knockoffs that are coming out on the market or others that are getting more bulky, bigger, and still trying to go back to that old way of those big old pliers to be able to crimp here.
Yeah.
What makes, and I know the answer to this now, but and you've explained, but if you want to go in a little bit more detail, what makes your tool the innovator and why it's still better than all the knockoff products that they tried to reach out in the market?
Okay. It's substantially less expensive.
Mhm.
It's more convenient. You can put it in your toolbox. It also gets in places that you can't get these big pliers in,
Mhm.
like that. It doesn't do everything. Okay, I won't say that, but
Mhm.
it has a niche, and I think it's a substantial niche. And for a homeowner, if you're gonna put in, I should have had it with me. I did an analysis. If you want to put in a sink, Okay, you're gonna do two male connectors on one end or something, and then a couple of male, 4 fittings. 4 fittings.
Mhm.
Okay, and you look at the prices. You go to the shelf. You look at everything. You can buy my tool, use it, and all that stuff, and you're still cheaper than buying the shark bite, the ones that
Mhm.
slip in.
Yep.
Then you have the tool, and after that, things are like a quarter the price or a half price, third price of it's horrifying to see how expensive those shark bite things are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't trust them. And I doubt I'm alone either. Something you just push in and then you put it behind the wall.
Exactly.
What would you like behind your wall?
Yeah.
You want something with a real solid connection, not a thing that depends on a couple little tiny
Correct.
things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a much stronger, it makes a damn good connection.
Yeah.
That top of it. Good connection, cheaper, more convenient, small, easy to carry with you.
Perfect.
Okay, that's all I got to say.
Yeah. That's perfect, man. I appreciate it.
Good. Well, it's a
Thank you,
pleasure
sir.
talking to you, Ryan.
You too, sir.
You take care. All right.
Thank you. You too, sir.
See you
Bye.
later.